Fear is not a weakness. It's a sign you're pushing yourself to new limits. Rise above it. Face it head on and let it fuel your determination to rise to new heights. Show the world that you are unbreakable, unstoppable.
Hey. Welcome. This is Tony Taylor. Welcome to Leaders Lead, the podcast. I am super excited to have you. Today it's just me. There's no interviews. I got some stuff on my mind and I came to talk to y'all. I actually wrote this out in my journal, and I think that's a good way to kind of keep me on track. I was teaching this in a class the other day where I was telling folks, you got to write stuff down. You got to be in order. And I realized, man, I don't do that in my podcast when it's just me. I just come and kind of tell what's on my mind and give a lesson. But I'm taking my own medicine on this one. And I actually got my journal because as journals and writing every day, the things that's on your mind, the things that's on your heart, the things that you need to process is scientifically proven to help with anxiety. It's proven to help with depression, proven to help with any situation that you have and you're trying to figure out a way out of it. Or you could do what I do most of the time, just journal and talk about the things that I'm grateful for, right? So I got some points here, something I wanted to do. I want to encourage you, whatever fight that you're in, you find yourself in a fight. I'm not talking about with other people. I'm talking about a fight in your mind, the fight that you have in your head, something that you desire, but for whatever reason, you can't get to it. And it could be a person. Whatever is you feel like is stopping you from your goals. Chances are it's you that's stopping you from your goals. But hate to be the bearer of bad news on this, but yeah, I want to encourage you to fight for whatever you need, and also give you kind of an update what's going on with me and my life. I had quite a few people reach out to me over the past 2 weeks, like, what the hell is going on with you, man? I'm seeing you talk about all these different subjects, things that necessarily isn't a part of my content, especially there on LinkedIn. But as I've been in school, I'm studying some stuff. So a lot of it is things that I'm studying, things that I'm interested in when it comes to mental health. Me and my wife, we both have started, we've been in school for a while. We're almost done with our master's in counseling. And I shared this before, but we both went and wanted to be a counselor because we're going through some weird times, like not us separate, but us together, some really hardships and caregiving. We have a child that has PANDAS PANS, and we had other stuff going on with health. So it's been one of those battles, and it's one of those things where you start looking for support for that. You can't find it. And we realized that, damn, man, there's not enough support for parents or for caregivers, people, leaders that are helping other people. There's not enough support. And I'm just like, wow, man, the only thing that we really had to lean on was folks from Facebook groups, people that we found all over the freaking world, that were going through some of the same things that we were going through and not getting the support when it came from medical, when it came from the school system, when it came towards insurance, right? When it came for family, when it comes to friends, as far as that support, these people are the people in that community realized that all we had was each other. It's the saddest thing and the most inspiring thing to see is all these people coming together and giving their experience, gaslit by this doctor, gaslit by this insurance company, is a beautiful thing to see, but it's a freaking nightmare to live, right? And so we're like, oh man, what can we do to support these people? Because we, as we would go on in our journey, things would get better as far as the health with the PANDAS PANS stuff and all the other stuff that we're going through. And we noticed that we will be on step 3. These other people, they're on step 1 or haven't even started moving yet. And so we would speak with them depending on what stage they were at and give them the information that we had with the hopes that they'll be able to make it through. And we realized through doing that essentially was our purpose together. It was something that we were thinking about separately, but then thinking about it together. And it was just like, damn, we might as well do this, might as well go back to school. And so that's why we started that path, because it's few and far in between where you can find a counselor, then where you can find a counselor that's dependable, then where you can find a counselor that really, 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 really gives a shit. It's hard. It's hard out there. It's hard. I mean, I can keep going on and on and on about that. But we noticed since the school thing and here recently, something that we've kind of picked up, something that came into the atmosphere was this bill for pandas. I think it was Bill SB 2196. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll make sure I put it in the show notes. But this bill that we were supporting, so that kids that have PANDAS and PANS, so that they can get IVIG, a treatment that is in fact the gold standard when it comes to treating kids with these illness, just like what our baby has, right? And what we found out was there were amazing people that were supporting this bill. As a matter of fact, Tara Simmons, the rep, not even from our district, she supported this bill along with the amazing folks at Northwest PPN, a PANDAS group that actually connected us with our doctors. Sarah Sanders is the person that we worked with, and Kim also, right? You just want to give them props because they helped us figure out things when things weren't so good. Like I said, the doctors were hard to come by, and they were a part of that journey. But what they did was they brought forth this bill so that kids can actually get the care that they need. And we got really inspired with that. And if you're on my mailing list, you're listening to this, I'm sure you are. You've seen it kind of in real time where I'm like, hey, do me a favor, call this senator, call this state rep. We need to know some information. Why isn't this getting done? It was kind of like a slow drag all the way up until the point it went to the House. It passed the House at 83-13. It passed the House. Almost everybody voted for it. It was bipartisan. It wasn't no such thing as Democrat, Republican. First time I've ever seen Democrats and Republicans in my lifetime that I can remember work together the way that they worked together to get that to pass the House. And then it went to the Senate, and it just sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there for freaking weeks. For weeks, it just sat there and sat there and sat there. And I mean, in the meantime, all of the parents were sending emails. Yeah, I heard that this senator said that they got the thousands of emails and phone calls. I mean, we were lighting it up. I would get off the phone. My daughter would call. My wife would call. We had all of our friends would call in. One of our amazing friends actually went to the courthouse. She had this beautiful sign. Amanda Sanders is her name. Had this beautiful freaking sign, and she's getting the attention. I mean, we were making some freaking noise, and then we find out that the Senate refused to even bring the bill to the floor so that it can get voted on by everybody else, even though it passed the House 83-13, swept it. But this person, Senator, I would say Annette Cleveland, she refused to pass the bill. And I know what you're thinking. Man, Tony, we never heard you talk about the politics before. It's like, it's one of those things, man, how can you live in this day and age and not know and understand that politics affects a lot of the things that we have? If you want any kind of change, systemic change, that's ran by politics, right? And I don't agree with the whole, if you can't beat them, join them. I don't agree with that. I think it's quite the opposite. I feel like you can beat them together, right? It doesn't have to be you beating them. You can figure out a way to work together. And the way that I chose to do that was running for a state delegate for legislative delegate 22. I'm still trying to get used to it. I didn't even know what freaking, not legislative district, legislative district 22. There we go. Legislative district 22. I didn't even know what damn district we was in. That's how far removed I am from this politics stuff. But I ran to be a delegate so that I can have some influence on the policies and procedures, so that going forward, I can say, well, hey, this is a part of our priorities, because that's what delegates do. They vote on the priorities of the party, and they go to one place during like the voting cycle or whatever. And I'm still learning everything that it is, but you had to give a speech in order to do it, and then they pick you. And so, yeah, I'm a delegate for LD 22 now, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited about that opportunity, because it's me trying to figure out how to make things change. And I can't sit along for another year or however and continue to watch this happen. This bill would have saved so many kids. It would have helped them get the IVIG coverage that they desperately need. Our child got the IVIG coverage that she desperately needed, and it helped her. And I really just wanted other kids to be able to have that opportunity, because I know what it felt like the moment where they said, oh, you're going to have to come out of pocket $90,000 or however it was for those 3 or 2 days for her to get this life-saving care. I'm just thinking like, oh my God, I kept thinking about this movie, John Q. I don't know if you've seen it. If not, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I just give you the freaking trailer version of it. But this guy, Denzel Washington's son in the movie, he hurt himself or had this thing with his chest while he was playing football. And all of a sudden, their life changed. Just like that, their life changes. And they're in the hospital, and the insurance company, they won't cover it. And medical, their hands are tied. This man's like begging, him and his wife, they're begging to get care for their son. And then all of a sudden, he goes, okay, I know what I'll do. And he freaking pulls out a gun, and he freaking took hostage. He took over that freaking hospital and took hostages. I remember saying in that moment, that is exactly what I would do for one of my kids if they got sick. And in this moment, when I heard how much it was going to cost, I knew that for a fact that I wasn't going to be able to pay this more than 3 months. So it's like, what do we do after that? And I'll never forget that feeling that I had in the bottom of my stomach, and the feeling of relief when my amazing wife, actually figured it out for us and made a way, like she's done this whole time. She made a way to make that happen. But I'm seeing right now, there's a lot of families out there that are being declined. And what's happening when they are being declined for this life-saving medication? People get sicker. The kids get sicker. The parents get sicker, and the situation doesn't heal itself. This thing is not going away. It's not going away at all. And the problem is the bureaucracy that's involved in it. And I just can't imagine. I cannot fucking imagine a legislator, somebody that's in charge of the freaking laws, could ignore these families the way that they ignored my family. And so whatever it takes, not John Q stuff, I'm not going to go Denzel, but whatever it takes. If it takes me being a delegate and voting on the laws and stuff of the political party that I closer aligned to more than the other side, then so freaking be it. I just can't see another. I don't see another way of this happening for these kids. And there's so many other different topics that I care deeply about. Just keep watching some of the posts that I make and some of the content that we got coming soon on Leaders Lead the podcast. I'm going to continue talking about these issues. I know that a lot of this stuff isn't everybody's cup of tea, but it goes hand in hand with everything else that we're talking about. If we're talking about episodes with anxiety, episodes with folks' depression, episodes of folks having certain other illnesses and not getting the support and the care that they need, like this goes hand in hand with it. It's fighting for it. That's what advocacy is. It's not just being there to support the person. I really feel a deep responsibility to make real changes. And those real changes is not going to come from me to continue to use my Twitter fingers it's just not going to happen. So that's where I'm at. Let me look into my journal here. So I wrote down some symptoms of PANDAS PANS and some things that jump out, man. I can go multiple pages, but I would say severe brain fog, severe anxiety, shaking, OCD. Sometimes they can go catatonic. They can't walk. Paranoia. It is inflammation in their brains. They can get strapped, and that's the PANDAS part. They get strapped and it goes to their brain, and it affects some very important stuff up there. So just imagine your brain being inflamed. And the PANS part is you can get it from pretty much any kind of infection, the way that I understand it. But we've been fighting this thing collectively as a team for years, and I just want to see something happen. I mean, because when we first started the journey, I mean, we had doctors tell us that it's not real. Slap in the face. Doctors and nurses, most of them don't even know what it is. I guarantee you that they've come in contact with kids that have had this, but they don't know what it is. So it's like there's this whole thing of education, and not just this. I mean, we could just talk about Lyme and many other chronic illnesses that are essentially being ignored. So that's the PANDAS stuff. That's where I'm at. That's the update as far as me doing the political stuff. And it's not going to be like something that I'm doing 24/7. They meet at the Democratic convention, and it's something that's like a week. So there's not going to be a whole bunch of like political stuff. I think that stuff is boring, but I think change is good though. So I think the change outweigh the boring part. And and I'm also thinking of capturing. I'm not going to do it on the podcast, but if you follow my YouTube, I'm going to be streaming throughout and letting folks know what's going on. I think I'm going to send a letter or something like that to see like what I can share. But my hope is to be as transparent with people as I possibly can about this process. So if part of my assignment is to listen to what the people are saying as far as different changes that they want to make. And this is for you that's listening. If you got something you want to change, live here in Washington State, reach out to me. It don't have to just be the health stuff, but part of this process is me seeing if the system works the way that they say that it is designed to work. And so if I get what I want, we get what we want this time, then I'll freaking ride off into the sunset and I'll stop there. But if I feel like this process is bullshit, then I'll keep going. I really don't want to, and I kind of have a feeling that that's where it's leaning. That's where it's going. But yeah, I just don't see how we can ignore that. I don't see how we can keep continuing to ignore that. But yeah, that's what I'm up to. I got some really good episodes coming out soon. Tomorrow, actually, I'm interviewing one of the leading experts in Lyme disease. So this one's going to be really good. I know there's a lot of folks that are walking around with Lyme and not limes. A lot of folks are walking around with Lyme and have no freaking clue. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some healing behind it because a lot of doctors they're not Lyme literate. So that's some really good stuff. And yeah, I think we can go ahead and land this plane. If you're not subscribed to the podcast already, go ahead, do me a favor, subscribe to it, share this with a friend. If you're a part of our amazing community, I love to hear your story. What's some stuff that you want me to cover next? This podcast is about resilience, you overcoming that obstacle that is in your life. Not only you overcoming the obstacle, but you getting to the goal and you taking care of yourself, because that's how leaders lead. Whew, that was great. If you enjoyed this podcast, well, I'm sure you enjoyed it. If you're still here with us, what I want you to do is head over to your favorite podcast and streaming network and give us a download, subscribe to the channel, and also let us know what you think about the show. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for the things that you've done. Thank you for the things that you're doing. And especially thank you for the things that you're going to do, because I know that you're going to do something amazing.